At its peak in the 1990s, Pizza Hut dominated America with over 7,500 locations, controlling the nation's pizza culture like no other brand ever had. Families didn't just eat there, they celebrated there. Birthday parties, Little League victories, first dates under those iconic red roofs. But just 3 decades later, Pizza Hut has lost over $5.7 billion in value, closed more than 1,000 U.S. stores, and is now being reviewed for potential sale by its own parent company. The brand that invented stuffed crust pizza can't even compete with a company that used to deliver in 30 minutes or less. How does the world's largest pizza chain fall this far, this fast? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Pizza Hut went from cultural icon to corporate liability. We'll explore the brilliant strategy that made them unstoppable, the hidden flaw that was always lurking beneath the surface, and the cascade of failures that turned America's favorite pizza place into a cautionary tale worth billions. And if you stick around until the end, I'll show you the empty building that perfectly symbolizes everything that went wrong. Trust me, when you see it, the entire story will click into place. Because this isn't just about pizza. It's about what happens when a company stops evolving, when legacy becomes liability, and when the very thing that made you successful becomes the anchor dragging you down. Let's start at the beginning. Wichita, Kansas. 1958. 2 college-age brothers, Dan and Frank Carney, borrowed just $600 from their mother to open a small pizza shop near their university. They had one problem. The sign they bought only had room for 8 letters. So they went with the most obvious name possible, Pizza Hut. That small detail, that limitation, would accidentally create one of the most recognizable brand names in American history. But here's what made Pizza Hut different from every other pizza shop opening in late 1950s America. The timing was absolutely perfect. Americans were just discovering pizza, this exotic Italian food that was spreading from immigrant communities into the mainstream. But nobody really knew how to make it, where to get it, or what it was supposed to taste like. The Carney brothers recognized something crucial. People were hungry for consistency. They didn't want the best pizza. They wanted the same pizza every single time, in every single location. This was the dawn of franchising culture, where families moving to new suburbs wanted familiar brands they could trust. Pizza Hut did the opposite of everyone else. While independent pizzerias fought over authenticity and regional recipes, Pizza Hut said, "We'll standardize everything. Same dough, same sauce, same training, same experience." Whether you were in Kansas or California, Pizza Hut would taste like Pizza Hut. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel. In 1959, just 1 year after opening, they sold their first franchise in Topeka. By 1963, they had architect design that iconic red roof, a distinctive building that you could spot from the highway, that told families, this is a destination, not just a restaurant. And here's the key. They weren't just selling pizza. They were selling an experience. The dine-in model meant Pizza Hut became where families gathered. The salad bar, the arcade games, the pitcher of soda, the checkered tablecloths. For millions of American kids growing up in the 70s and 80s, Pizza Hut wasn't just food. It was culture. By the early 1970s, less than 15 years after starting with $600, Pizza Hut became the world's largest pizza restaurant chain in both outlets and market share. They had cracked the code. So what was Pizza Hut's secret weapon? What allowed them to grow faster than anyone thought possible? Franchising. But not just any franchising. Pizza Hut's model was brutally efficient. They franchised the operations but controlled the brand with an iron fist. Every franchisee had to buy ingredients from approved suppliers, follow exact recipes, use the same layouts, the same marketing, the same everything. This gave Pizza Hut two massive advantages. First, skill. Franchisees took on all the risk and most of the capital investment, while Pizza Hut collected fees and grew exponentially without drowning in debt. By 1968, just 10 years in, they were already expanding internationally into Canada. By 1977, they were attractive enough that PepsiCo acquired them for a massive sum. Second, brand leverage. That red roof became a symbol. You didn't need to read reviews or ask locals. If you saw a Pizza Hut, you knew exactly what you were getting. In the pre-internet age, that consistency was worth everything. And then came their stroke of genius, the stuffed crust pizza in 1995. This wasn't just a product. It was a cultural moment. They got Donald Trump to eat it backwards in commercials. It dominated late-night comedy show jokes. Everyone talked about it. Same-store sales exploded. Pizza Hut had figured out how to combine real estate visibility, franchise scalability, brand consistency, and viral marketing decades before anyone called it viral marketing. They were printing money. But here's what nobody talks about. This model only works if one thing stays true forever. The 1990s were Pizza Hut's golden age. Over 7,500 U.S. locations. Dominant market share. They weren't just the biggest pizza chain. They defined what pizza meant to most Americans. When you thought pizza night, you thought Pizza Hut. The dine-in model was thriving. Families packed those red-roofed buildings every Friday night. Little league teams celebrated there. Kids had birthday parties there. The salad bar and personal pan pizzas from the Book It program made Pizza Hut a staple of American childhood. Internationally, they were conquering market after market. They entered Pakistan in 1993. In China, they eventually built a membership program with over 150 million members. By 2023, they'd operate nearly 20,000 restaurants in more than 100 countries. The revenue was massive. The cultural cachet was undeniable. Sponsorships, celebrity endorsements, Super Bowl commercials. Pizza Hut had transcended being just a restaurant. They were an institution. Wall Street loved them. Franchisees were making money. Customers kept coming back. PepsiCo spun them off into Tricon Global Restaurants in 1997, which later became Yum! Brands, alongside KFC and Taco Bell. Everything looked unstoppable. The machine was running perfectly. But the machine was already broken. They just didn't know it yet. Here's the flaw that was planted from day one, hiding in plain sight. Pizza Hut's entire business model was built on real estate. Those iconic red-roofed buildings weren't just marketing. They were the foundation of the experience. Dine-in restaurants with servers, salad bars, arcade games, big booths, and parking lots. This required massive square footage, premium locations, and significant overhead. This worked brilliantly when dining out was the primary way Americans ate pizza. But it planted the seeds of something dangerous. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel. Because the model wasn't optimized for speed. It wasn't optimized for delivery. It was optimized for families driving to a destination, sitting down, and spending an hour there. And in the late 1990s, nobody cared. Delivery was still a small part of the business. Who needed to be fast when you were the experience? But across town, a small chain called Domino's was doing something different. They didn't care about dine-in. They didn't have salad bars or arcade games. They had one promise: fast delivery. 30 minutes or it's free. They were building a business model based on speed and convenience, not atmosphere. Pizza Hut looked at Domino's and thought, that's cute. We're the real pizza experience. This arrogance would cost them everything. The cracks started appearing slowly, then all at once. First, the market shifted. By the early 2000s, American dining habits were changing. Families ate out less. Convenience mattered more than experience. People wanted pizza delivered to their couch while watching Netflix, not a 45-minute sit-down dinner under fluorescent lights. Pizza Hut tried to adapt. They added delivery. But here's the problem: their entire infrastructure was wrong for it. Those big dine-in buildings were expensive to operate. High rent, servers, maintenance. All that overhead meant their unit economics for delivery were terrible compared to Domino's smaller, delivery-focused stores. Second, competition exploded. Domino's went all in on technology. They built a proprietary ordering app, invested in delivery tracking, optimized kitchen layouts for speed. They made ordering pizza feel modern. Pizza Hut's app? Customers mocked it online for being clunky and outdated. Social media lit up with complaints about slow delivery times, cold pizza, and terrible digital experiences. Meanwhile, Papa John's positioned themselves as the quality option. Little Caesars became the value king with their $5 hot and ready pizzas. Suddenly, Pizza Hut was stuck in the middle. Not the cheapest, not the fastest, not the highest quality. Just the third, their reputation started crumbling. Younger consumers didn't have the nostalgic connection their parents did. To millennials and Gen Z, Pizza Hut wasn't a beloved childhood memory. It was just another old chain with mediocre pizza. Viral social media posts roasted their products. Employees vented on Reddit about operational chaos and corporate dysfunction. Fourth, the economics stopped working. Pizza Hut's same-store sales started declining. Not catastrophically at first, just a slow bleed. But in franchising, perception is everything. When franchisees see declining sales, they stop investing in upgrades. Stores get run down. Service suffers, which drives more customers away, which leads to more declining sales. It's a death spiral, and Pizza Hut was in it. Fifth, leadership couldn't fix it. Since 2021, Pizza Hut US has cycled through multiple brand presidents. Each one tried something different. New menu items, rebranding campaigns, loyalty programs. But nothing gained real traction. One leader reportedly said only one product succeeded during their entire tenure. By the 2020s, Pizza Hut was losing on every front. Domino's was crushing them in delivery. Fast casual pizza places were winning with younger customers. Even their international markets started underperforming. And then came COVID-19. The pandemic should have been Pizza Hut's moment. Everyone was stuck at home. Delivery demand exploded. Pizza chains saw record sales. Domino's thrived. Papa John's thrived. Even Little Caesars adapted quickly. Targets. Others closed units due to poor performance. Internationally, the pain spread. In the UK, 68 restaurants closed when a franchise operator went into administration, putting 1,200 jobs at risk. Brands had to intervene to save some locations. In Turkey, the franchise filed for bankruptcy, shuttering hundreds of outlets. The financial metrics were devastating. In 2024, system-wide sales fell around 1%. Same-store sales dropped 4%. Operating profit shrank 5% compared to 2023. U.S. same-store sales fell roughly 5% in recent quarters. Operating margins hit their lowest levels in years. Pizza Hut now contributes only about 11% of Yum! Brand's operating profits, while Taco Bell alone contributes 38% of U.S. operating profit. The brand that was once the crown jewel had become the anchor. Customers complained about being overpriced. Employees reported operational stress and dissatisfaction. Social media trends showed declining enthusiasm. The brand perception had shifted from iconic to irrelevant. And then in late 2025, Yum! Brand's new CEO Chris Turner announced something that would have been unthinkable a decade earlier: a strategic review of Pizza Hut. Translation: they were exploring selling it, spinning it off, or restructuring it entirely. The parent company was actively considering whether Pizza Hut even had a future worth investing in. The brand that invented stuffed crust, that defined American pizza culture for generations, was being shopped around like a distressed asset. Remember that building I mentioned at the beginning? The one that symbolizes everything? It's in thousands of towns across America. You've probably driven past one. It's an old Pizza Hut. The distinctive red roof is still there. The architecture is unmistakable. But the Pizza Hut is gone. Maybe it's a Mexican restaurant now. Maybe it's a dentist's office. Maybe it's a vape shop or a tax preparation service. But everyone who drives by knows exactly what it used to be. There's even a website, usedtobepizza.com, dedicated to cataloging these ghost locations. Because there are so many of them. Hundreds across the country. Physical monuments to a fallen empire. That red roof that was supposed to be Pizza Hut's greatest asset, the instantly recognizable symbol of their brand, has become a reminder of their decline. The building remains, but the purpose is gone. It's the perfect metaphor. Pizza Hut built an empire on being a destination, on being a place. But when the world stopped wanting places and started wanting convenience, those buildings became tombs. Drive through any American town and you'll see them. The ghosts of Pizza Hut's past, serving entirely different futures. The biggest lesson here isn't about pizza. It's about the danger of confusing your business model with your identity. Pizza Hut thought they were in the experience business. Dine-in restaurants, red roofs, salad bars, family nights. That was their identity. And for decades it worked perfectly. But they weren't in the experience business. They were in the convenient food business. And when consumer preferences shifted from experience to convenience, Pizza Hut couldn't let go of what made them successful. Domino's understood this. They were about speed and technology. When delivery apps became essential, they were ready. When customers wanted pizza at home, their model was already built for it. Pizza Hut's tragedy is that they saw the change coming. They tried to adapt. They added delivery. They built apps. They closed dine-in locations. But they did it all while carrying the weight of their legacy infrastructure. It was like trying to win a Formula One race while towing a trailer. The most successful businesses aren't the ones with the best original idea. They're the ones that can evolve when the world changes, even if it means abandoning everything that made them successful in the first place. Pizza Hut couldn't do that. And now they're worth $5.7 billion less than they were at their peak. Here's my question for you. Can Pizza Hut recover? They still have nearly 20,000 locations worldwide. They still have brand recognition. China loves them. Some markets are still profitable. Brands could restructure them, sell them, or reinvest aggressively. Thanks for watching. If this video made you think differently about business strategy and legacy brands, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this one. And next time you drive past one of those old red-roofed buildings that used to be a Pizza Hut, maybe you'll see it differently. See you in the next one. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel.